Downtown was kind of fun back in those days. Sometimes Mamu and Minnie would take me if I was kind of hanging out with them on a weekend. They would go to town, is what they called it. And downtown was basically, you know, 2nd Street and 3rd Street, and lots of places there to go in. And in those days, you know, walk into the big Kresge's 10-cent stores, what they called it, and they could just leave me there. You know, there were, you know, low counters with toys and whatever. They would just leave me in the toy section. Wait right here, and we'll be back. Okay. And you didn't worry about kids getting grabbed off the streets back in those days, you know. So I was perfectly happy to be. And there's a big lunch counter there, soda fountain and everything. So before we left, we'd probably step up and get an ice cream or a soda and then take off. But downtown was really busy back in those days. I mean, there were people walking everywhere, especially at Christmas time. I remember being a little kid and just seeing all the legs and, you know, backsides, because I'm short. They're all right here, you know. So I knew what every pair of shoes people wore looked like. I didn't know what their faces looked like, but I knew what their shoes looked like. And it was crowded. Downtown Owensboro, crowded. And so there were some neat old buildings there and neat places to go in. Anderson's was the big department store. There were several big ones, but that was the biggest. And so I was kind of cool to go in there. Sears was pretty cool. We'd park in the back parking lot. That was another place where on the way through, you come in the doors and there's the toy department. So my parents would just go, okay, see you later. We'd go in the door and then just walk over and start looking at toys. Mom and Dad just keep going back to do whatever they were going to do and come back out and pick us up on the way out, you know. As I got older and had my own money to spend, Interstate was the big store. And that's where First Baptist Church's Christian Fellowship Center is now. They tore down a whole row of buildings to make that one big building and parking lot. And lost several things, but the two that had the biggest impact on me were Interstate, and it was a clothing store, and it's where I bought all my Levi's jeans and all my sweaters, and it was where I just had a lot of cool stuff in there when I was in high school and college. And then just down the street a little bit from it was Farrell's, a great diner, basically, and great burgers and plate lunches and chili, and they made the best milkshakes in the world, and so that was a neat place to be too.